Hi everyone, it's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a card that was inspired by Jennifer McGuire. That she did a card during the Rainbow Maker online card classes. And I had mentioned this in a haul video recently, and I thought I'd go ahead and do the video for you guys today. I said that I would go ahead and share with you what I learned from her. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to start off by using 3 colors of distress ink onto a piece of regular cardstock. If I had to do this over again, which I'm sure I will do this again eventually, I personally would recommend doing this on watercolor paper simply because it is a thicker cardstock to work on, and you're going to be adding a lot of moisture onto your paper. Between the distress inks and the glitter paste that we're going to be using, it's a lot of weight onto just regular cardstock. And this is a heavyweight cardstock. So even then, I mean, it worked out fine because I die cut the piece and it flattened it out, but it's still a lot of weight and moisture onto just regular cardstock. So for those of you that are going to try this and are interested in trying it out, I recommend you using a piece of watercolor paper because it's just a lot thicker to do that with. So as you can see, I am blending on these colors really quickly. Obviously, I did speed the video up because I can't blend this fast. No one can. But I had a hard time blending this time for some reason, and I think it's because the last time I did this technique, I did it with distress oxides instead of just regular distress inks. And distress inks they're a little bit more finicky to blend. So my blending doesn't look all that hot. I will be completely honest with you. I agree. But in the end, it will, once it soaks into the paper and it blends into the paper well, and then we add the overlay here, it's going to look just fine. So, like again, my blending, it just wasn't working with me today, but overall, it worked out just fine. And two, I didn't get it as even as I wanted to as far as the amount of color that I wanted, but there again, it's just a card, and obviously I can try again in another time. So what I'm going to do now is take my stencil. This is the Radiating Rays stencil from My Favorite Things. And I'm also going to be using this Viva Decor glitter paste. This is the glitter paste that I own, but you can use other glitter paste that you may have. I know that Tonic Nuvo, they have one as well. But this is the one I had on hand already, and it worked out just fine to use this one. And it's just as beautiful. So I'm just going ahead and applying a really good amount of this glitter paste onto my stencil. I want a lot of sparkle and shine and a lot of even, application of this glitter all over my stencil. Now, keep in mind, this is a little bit different as far as embossing paste or whatever. With any type of medium like this, yes, you want to immediately clean off your tools and your stencil, but especially with glitter paste, because this stuff dries pretty quickly, and especially with the glitter, it will adhere to that stencil fast. So just keep that in mind as well. Whenever you're working with this stuff, it dries quickly and it takes a little more time, or at least in my whenever I was cleaning off my stencil, that I really had to work to get that glitter off. So just keep that in mind as well. So obviously several hours later, I let this dry, and I put this aside and I let it dry, and you can see how beautiful it turned out. I went ahead and die cut it with a stitched rectangle die from Lawn Fawn, and then I also applied a bunch of foam adhesive because, like I said, this warped pretty well. And so even with the running it through my die cut machine, I added some foam adhesive because I knew that it was going to help flatten it out even more. So now I'm going to work on the rest of my card here, and I'm taking this banner here. This is coming from the Blueprints 27 die set, and I love this little banner because it's got a little stitched edge on the side. I'm also taking this sentiment stamp set from the Stamp Market, and I thought this sentiment fit really perfectly into this die cut here. And I'm just using some black ink and stamping down my sentiment. Going to do it twice because I want a really bold black sentiment. And once I get that all the way I want it, I'm going to take it off my MISTI there, remove it from my stamp there, and then clean off my stamp. And then now I'm going to add some foam adhesive eventually to that sentiment strip. I've got a piece of just regular black cardstock as my card base today, and I wanted to bring out just a little bit more contrast, so I die cut a white piece of cardstock panel just to create a little bit of a frame and a little bit of interest on the back of that black cardstock, and it'll also pull in some more of that white to add to my to complement my sentiment banner. So I'm going to take off the paper backings of my panel here. Like I said, I was very liberal with the foam adhesive, but I needed to because this piece was really warped by the time it was all said and done. So I'm just going to adhere that onto my card base really well. And then just like I mentioned, I was going to add some foam adhesive onto the sentiment strip and then get that adhered. And then that pretty much completes the card for today, guys. I know it's a quick video, but that's pretty much what I learned in that class. Of course, you can do very different variations. You can do different color schemes if you wanted to. Whatever you want with this technique, the sky's the limit. It's a really beautiful technique and so much fun to do. So I hope you give it a try. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on my next video. Bye-bye.